video I really want to watch, but it's a bit longer and a bit more, I guess, a serious topic. Would you be okay with that? It's about. It's about VTuber loses career over having a boyfriend. I think Jenny suggested that, and I thought it would be pretty interesting because normally I watch. Okay, I have to admit I normally watch videos like this off stream because I think it's very interesting. Let's go.
Ever watch someone destroy their entire career in real time? One bad take turns into 2, then 3, until their reputation is set on fire in a blaze of ego, hypocrisy, and self-sabotage. That's exactly what happened with Gumpai, a VTuber who preached against parasocial content while secretly building one of the most dangerously obsessed fanbase in the community. For months, she mocked other VTubers for monetizing fan relationships, shamed women for taking donations, and clowned on creators with secret boyfriends. But the entire time, she had one too. And while her—
Wait, what? Why would you do that? Mic drop. Yeah, okay. Okay, I can see where this video is going. It gets worse. What? How can this even get worse? I'm already like very agitated. Hi, Tiger.
Her parasocial antics were bad enough, her downfall wasn't just about leading on fans, it was about picking fights she couldn't win. Because somehow in the middle of it all, she also decided to go to war with a plushie maker. This is the story of how
the plushie. I think I heard about the plushie situation. I think I think I know the plushie. Gosh, my English is not Englishing right now. I know the plushie situation. I think that's why I know the name. I didn't recognize her image or their image, but I recognized the name. Yeah. Let's be honest, people just make drama for exposure, as always. Publicity that makes them more popular. Yeah. It's a bit sad. Like I said, I do watch this content in my normal free time. I know, probably not the best to do sometimes. But it's also sometimes a little bit sad to see how much attention. Sorry, I always got that meme inside my head. Attention, drama baiting, rage baiting. More rage baiting. I wouldn't even say drama baiting. It's rage baiting most of the time when people say like very controversial takes and stuff. It's rage bait and it always gets attention. And it's sad. It's really, really, really sad. The plush thing, yeah, I remember that one. Preaching rules for others and don't take the same measures for oneself. We love that, right? We love that.
Gumpai built an empire on contradictions, cruelty, and obsession, until it all collapsed in the most ironic way possible.
Damn.
This wasn't new behavior for Gumpai. She had a—
By the way, just at the start, I really like Rima's videos. If you don't know Rima yet, I would highly suggest watching her videos. I really like them if you like that type of content.
Long track record of controversies, jumping between different online identities, going by names like Zuba, Anon to Nona, and Francel. But of all of these personas, her Zuba account was especially infamous, constantly pushing boundaries and leaning into unhealthy dynamics with her audience. One of the clearest examples? Her frequently asked questions section, where she was shockingly open about the kind of fan interactions she encouraged. A fan asked, "Can we send intimate photos of ourselves?"
No! What? That indeed is... I mean, they were born in 2000 and technically they're all adults, but still, that is that's a boundary you should never overstep. You shouldn't that's a boundary no one should. No duck pictures. You would be allowed to send me a picture of a cute duck. Nothing like that. Oh my god, you can't even read the one word I am more concerned over. Can you read it? That is concerning. That's not just concerning in a parasocial way. That is also concerning in a health regulation way. Please. Okay, I know that that the person probably said yes, but please let them say no. Please let them say no.
Pics, come tributes, etc. And instead of shutting this down, she enthusiastically responds, "Yes, you can, heart emote. I'm more than okay with them being sent to me. I enjoy seeing them. And I also archive them just to let you know. It's worth..."
I archived them. Duck pictures and contributes. Yeah, exactly. Duck pictures are fine. Contributes are fine as long as it's not food or something to drink, like or something perishable or something. Another day on the internet. Average day on the internet. Yeah.
Worth noting that she kept records of everything. And honestly, that just sounds like a blackmail disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's also what I thought. But Mundane, I think your point is also very, very important. Once a minor sends you a picture, you're freaked, my lady. You're freaked. And an ominous red light, I feel like, oh, it could be.
But you know what's really a disaster waiting to happen? My attempts at cooking. Seriously, if there were records of that, I'd never live it down. That's why I stick with Factor, because their chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals mean I don't have to worry about burning my kitchen down. They're fresh, never frozen, and ready in just 2 minutes, so I can skip the stress of meal prep.
Ooh, that actually looks very nice. Oh,
and
damn.
just eat. With over 35 meals per week.
Okay, that actually, oh my goodness, that actually looks very appetizing right now. I think we should call people that are like this red flag streamer. Damn, that is such a nice word, Jenny. I love that. I love that, to be freaking honest. Hi, Sender. Nothing is ducking.
Including keto, calorie smart, vegan, and protein plus, I always have something delicious and actually good for me. Plus, they have snacks, smoothies, and more to keep...
Ooh, pineapple turmeric. That's why she archives them for the police. That's the only reason why I would archive duck pictures, actually, because I think thankfully we're knocking on wood, right? I've never received one, but if I would receive one, I would instantly use there is a website from the police where you can just say, hey, someone sent me unsolicited pictures. Can you just slap them. Just slap them. Yeah. That's the only reason why I would do that. I bet you're ducking, because you had duck pictures. This could be good for you to stay safe and not burn your kitchen down. Hey, I never burned my kitchen down once, and I did cook. Okay? I did.
Me going throughout the day. So skip the takeout trap and fuel up for your goals. Get 50% off and free shipping on your first Factor box using my link. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code with your phone. But now, let's go back to Gumpai.
I'm not a duck. Quack.
She made it also very clear that she didn't just see her fans as supporters, she saw them as boyfriends. In her frequently asked questions section, she stated that she didn't want to post these pictures publicly because they were meant to be private between her and her audience. I don't want to...
Oh, that's so... The thing is, technically, this person is obviously not doing something wrong. Like legally. We're speaking legally. We're not speaking morally, okay? We're speaking legally. This person is not doing anything wrong. If all of them are consenting adults. But morally is a total other... Oh.
reply because it'll be public and I don't want anyone else to see your precious parts. If it's okay for me to be greedy, yeah, I'll be part of my collection if that's okay. I'd use it for my own material if that's okay. I don't want to fill my blog with those photos because they're just private fun between me and you. I really enjoy everyone's photos so far. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. I would never be parasocial on that level. We all know that. If I ever get parasocial in any, like, way that could lean into, like, obviously not sexual, but if I get parasocial in a very weird way, please tell me and say, Runya, the frick are you doing? Please.
And
can we send Yato to hit you if that happens? Yes, definitely. As I said, if a minor sends a picture, no, yeah, definitely mundane. Yeah.
Someone asked, any kind of pic you would enjoy? Maybe muscles, maybe butts? And she says, I like anything you want to present to me. I do like seeing bulges and seeing you pleasure yourself with a background of cozy bedsheets if you wanted to know my preferences. So she didn't.
They're all consenting adults, technically. Like I said, technically she's not doing anything wrong morally. It's another... That's the thing. I don't want to shame someone for what they're into. But I think as we go on with this video, because of the intro of this video, I will think differently. Very, very, very... like, I'm already very, very... Technically, it's nothing wrong, and I don't want to shame anyone for their interests and their kinks and stuff, but... Hi, Naro, it's very good to see you. This feels so wrong. Yeah!
Didn't just flirt with her fans, she treated them like they were in an actual relationship with her. She actively leaned into full-scale girlfriend experience content, going as far as posting personal photos of her and sharing intimate messages.
Do you want to cuddle? I want to be the little spoon. But I also want to speak in your ear. But I also want to put my face on your armpit. You stink, I'd sniff you.
As well as...
Okay, but that's in a voice call with a lot of people. At least, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 8 people have to be in this voice call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8 people, and they're all muted. I don't want to shame anyone for what they're into, but that would be such a turnoff. To be freaking honest, that would be such a turn off for me. Being in a voice call with 8 other, probably, I'm sorry, but it's I don't want to assume, but it's probably dudes. I am sorry, I don't want to assume, but it's probably dudes. Being in a voice call with 8 other dudes and hearing that, that would be a turn off. I don't know, Naro. More like
I want to be the little spoon. But I also want to speak in your ear. But I also want to put my face on your armpit. You stink, I'd sniff you.
As well as detailing every aspect of her life, even her weight after going to the bathroom. She also went above and beyond to prove she was always available for them, such as...
Oh, that could be, I don't know. It could also be Discord quality, technically, Ayo, with the frequencies in her voice that they sound a bit robotic. But I'm not sure. It could, maybe we are gonna... We're only 4 minutes into the video, guys. I think it's good that they're muted. Yeah, it's good that they're muted, definitely. Yeah. As Jenny said, if you have a relationship like that with a few people, that's fine. But your large community, it's... Yeah. I mean, there is nothing wrong with having several partners. If everyone knows about it, everyone is consenting and stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. But this is another case, you know.
as sleeping in voice calls with her fans so they wouldn't suspect she had a boyfriend, and spending hours in Discord voice calls so fans always had access to her. And then there was her viral rant about dating her audience, where she openly declared that she saw nothing wrong with it, even saying that it was cheating if her fans had relationships outside of her. I'm not just a streamer.
Ooh, that's very compliment. That's very
I am
problematic.
in love with my
no.
community. It hurts to know on both sides if someone has a relationship. It's literally cheating because I spent a whole day in a call yesterday flirting in Discord and we had a date together. This wasn't just engagement farm.
That's also very bad for the mental health of her community. Like stuff like that, that will make people isolated. Like mentally, that's very, very bad for her community. Shouldn't you be like concerned about your community being okay, I guess? Like mentally well?
This was actively fostering obsessive loyalty. She reinforced this unhealthy attachment with tweets like, "Please, I'm begging you, don't watch me or interact with me if you have a girlfriend who doesn't know about me. I feel like I'm getting cheated on. I'm serious. It hurts so much. I'm tired of e-dating, so I decided to treat my community as my e-boyfriend. I'm also really lonely, have low self-esteem, constantly forget to take my meds due to ADHD, and have a huge media backlog, which are all things my community helps take care of. I'm doing..."
That sounds very exploitative. That sounds very, very exploitative. Mentally dependent. Thank you. That's a very good description for that.
TFE because it's fun and I want to be really nice to men. At one point, she vented on Twitter about feeling betrayed by fans, mentioning their real relationship. Damn, rage bait used to be believable. Unless it's not actually rage bait, because she immediately...
But yeah, a lot of this does feel like rage bait, technically.
Followed up
I think, at least.
with, "This is not a joke, nor a bit." She meant every single word. And in another Gumpai special, we got, "Okay, I get really depressed and sad when a cute VTuber on the timelet admits they have a relationship or has another guy in their bio because, oh my god, I feel really sad for their fan who really saw them as someone to cure their loneliness. Also, there..."
I am... As a streamer, we're obviously an entertainer. Definitely, 100%. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying, at least. But I'm not a psychotherapist, because that actually implies that I'm kind of a psychotherapist. No streamer is a psychotherapist. No one has a cure for loneliness. I'm gonna get cats. That's my cure for loneliness, okay? Entertain us. I'm not a duck. I can entertain you only by purring. Purr. I can roll my arse, and I can try rolling them in the back of my throat or at the front of my throat. I can't do the front arse very well. Yay, cats! Yes! I'm gonna get cats. I'm so excited! Can confirm Runya is not my therapist. Exactly. You're also not my therapist, Chad, yeah.
Really sad for their fan who really saw them as someone to cure their loneliness. Also, they are the ones who benefit from your following, likes, replies, and chat messages, not to mention your subscription and donations. It's just such a slap in the face to say those types of statements. Her obsessiveness over maintaining this parasocial hold over her fanbase extended to how she managed her community. Gumpai famously banned the names of every single female VTuber from her Discord server. If anyone even mentioned another female creator, their message was deleted and they risk being banned. Of course.
Oh, damn. I'm from that European country that is mostly below sea level, and we roll the R2. Stop copying us. Below sea level? The European country that is below sea level mostly. Is it the Netherlands? Or Denmark? Who of them rolls the R's? It's the Netherlands. Okay. The drunk Germans. Oh no, Oh, Bergstein. Denmark doesn't really exist, though. That's... Oh, so it's like Bielefeld. I see. Is Netherlands in Minecraft? Runya is a dog therapist. No, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a dog.
No female VTuber could join her server for a while. Finally got around towards blocking every female name in my Discord server. Now companions can't talk about other women in my vicinity. I don't even know how that's physically possible. Surely she forgot at least.
Why do you put that much? That's also a thing. You put that much energy into blocking every single female name. There is also like non-gendered names. Like Alex can be a girl's and a dude's name. Like, why do you put that much energy into stuff? Like, I hope that's rage bait.
One female name, right? But when she got pushback on it, where some people pointed out that she could benefit from having female friendships, her fans would defend her, saying, no, she doesn't need friends, she only needs us. Which really speaks volume about how codependent and unhealthy her community was.
Definitely, it sounds like that, because it made them bugs. Imagine having a list of every VTuber in existence. I don't think that is actually physically possible.
And yeah, of course, if you were suspected to be in a relationship, you would also get banned from her server. And she didn't just control who they could talk to, she also controlled how they could interact with her. On her Ko-fi, she had a $1,000
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that as well, for sure, for sure. And then I'm just gonna ban them after they gave me $1,000. The frick? I hope that's a troll. I hope that's a troll. I hope that's a troll. I mean, I understand rage. I don't understand rage bait. Sorry, I don't understand rage bait, but I just hope that's a troll. Please be a troll.
ban forgiveness fee. Yes, you read that right. $1,000 to be forgiven after getting banned. And if you thought her tweets were bad, her Discord comments were even worse. One of the most insane example? TBH, the only dicks I don't like seeing are ones that look really, really dry. It makes me sad, like I want to slobber all over it to make it happy again, I guess. What?
On what sites did she... On what sites did she, like... Anyone knows what her streaming website was? Because that sounds more like... other streaming websites than Twitch or YouTube. Or even Kick. 1,000 buckaroos. She wanted a golden plated steak with water dehydrated from orphans. Yeah. Can someone actually make money with that? Unbanning people? I would be rich. Wouldn't that be fun? And you got a discount for accidental or false bans. Yeah, a very big problem is missing communication. Like every relationship problem, work, social, and just for fetish, you need to set boundaries as soon as possible. If you wait too long, things like this happen. Exactly, Connie. And like I said, I am still very thankful that I think I set my boundaries very clearly most of the time. And if I feel that my boundaries are not set correctly, I emphasize them again. And I think that's why we have such a very, very comfy community. Like I said, I have absolutely no problem with people being loot-tubers. I watch loot-tubers. I like them as well. It's just not something I feel that I can actually set my boundary. First of all, something I don't feel comfortable as my content. Second of all, I think I couldn't put the boundaries correctly. Kicks them in the shins. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take €5 for a kick. Or 10, I don't care.
What made all of this even more insane was that Gumpai constantly attacked other VTubers for behavior she herself was guilty of. She had no problem ripping into other female content creators, especially those who monetize their audience through emotional connections, did GFE while secretly having a boyfriend, or talked about their mental health struggles. She frequently mocked female streamers for being too—
I think it is actually... I know that I talk about my mental health struggles a lot. I think it's like you don't have to go into detail. Definitely, you don't. And if you go into detail, you should put a trigger warning on it. But it helps. Streaming is my hobby. Streaming is what I love to do. And yeah, right now I'm having a lot of anxiety problems, and I do talk about it because it's something that's on my mind. And streaming, when I stream, I talk a lot about stuff that's on my mind right now. And as I said, anxiety levels are really high at the moment because of 500 things. And I do talk about it, but and I think it's very important not to put a taboo on those topics. My boundaries are based on if you buy me snacks first. To be fair, we set all the fire exactly, except for in Doom.
Too dependent on their viewers and shamed them for asking for financial support. Never did a donaton subathon. That shit's is gay and R-worded. And
okay, whoever uses those two words as an insult has a freaking small pee-pee energy.
one of her most brutal takes.
I don't care if you're female or male. If you use those words as an insult, you have small pee-pee energy.
Imagine
You don't need to have a pee-pee for having small pee-pee energy.
admitting to your community that you're a broke lord neat who can't work, so you complain about your fake mental illness diagnosis. Pretend to be nice to your biggest oilers, and yet you have a boyfriend and complain that your life is falling apart. Maybe you deserve it because you're so fat from DoorDash. At this point, Gumpai wasn't just hyper.
That's just, oh gosh. If I remember correctly, she was on Twitch with the name Gumpai from other channels she used, I don't know. And I heard rumors she may now be back on YouTube after the downfall and the act even worse. Under a different name again.
Hypercritical. She was the exact thing she claimed to hate. And that's what makes what happens next so much more ironic. But while Gumpai was busy love bombing her fans and controlling every aspect of their interactions, she also managed to pick one of the dumbest fights in VTuber history. And it all started because of a plushie. On November 24th, 2024,
That's the only thing I heard about this whole situation. Hi, Shino.
Gumpai went nuclear, accusing a plush maker of stealing her design and demanding that VTubers ban him. Her proof? A plushie of her character, one she had never commissioned. At first, this might seem like a legitimate concern, but there was just one problem. None of it was true. The plush maker, Kusa,
Exactly.
wasn't a scammer. He was an indie artist from Vietnam who took custom commissions.
Which is, I don't think that's like a problem at all. It's so, that whole drama was like, And all of her tweets feel like rage bait. Every single one. Every single tweet we've seen so far feels like rage bait. Just being edgy to be edgy. Just being parasocial to be parasocial. It feels so rage baity. Yeah, I saw that one as well. Hi, Boom. It's good to see ya.
A fan had paid him to create a Gumpai plushie, and after finishing the order,
Which is so cute, to be freaking honest. I would be so honored.
he had a few extras left over, but instead of tossing them, he simply offered them to other fans. The plushie maker quickly responded to her tweet, clarifying that he had actually been commissioned by one of her fans to create the plushie in the first place. That's it. No mass production. No stolen designs, no shady business. But rather than reaching out privately, Gumpai went straight to war. She blasted Kusa on Twitter, rallying her fans to report and blacklist him. And then she tweeted, "He's making AliExpress Timu tier plushies of my character, lol. The eyes aren't even correct. Gumpai's eye colors is pink, not fucking orange." Again, he just goes server to server, profiting off VTuber characters. And then she
By the way, I think they look very cute, and they do look like her character, in my opinion. Just saying.
proceeded to shill her own merch instead. "Hi, you can support me by the new market merch drop at November 25th at 3 p.m. PST. I do get 20% profits, pretty good. At least I get profits then compared to this fellow where I get absolutely 0%. It didn't take long for people to fact
In general, Buna has already been contacted because of that. It's very cute that people... So, in general, I personally don't have problem with people producing merch of my character. I just want to approve it first. Because if it's like an artwork or something, I don't like being drawn in a sexualized manner. If I don't have full control... Like, if I don't, can look at it. I And it's so cute because most people that draw me in a maybe more risque manner, risque in regards of it's maybe like a bunny suit or a bikini or something. Everyone asks me if I'm okay with it, and it's so cute, and I love everything about this, and that's how it should be. If someone wants to produce merch with my model and sell it at Dokumi, I have absolutely no problem with that. It's just nice to be contacted first. And then I have absolutely no problem with that. And it's so cute. I have absolutely no problem with someone else making profit of if they draw, like, I don't know, a keychain or a sticker of my model. That's so cute. I have absolutely no problem with that. I would have also muted. Yeah, absolutely, Ayu. Absolutely.
Fact check her claims, and that's when community nodes got involved. And from there, things spiraled out of control. Instead of apologizing, Gumpai doubled down. She mocked the people who bought the plushies, saying, "Lol, sorry to those who bought it, but that's kind of your fault. It wasn't vetted by me and it's poorly made." Like, what were you expecting? At this point, most of the internet, besides her extremely loyal fans, had turned against her. Even big names VTubers like Bao, Shondo, and Pipkin Pippa came out in defense of Kusa, praising his work and calling out Gumpai's entire
I saw that.
But instead of stepping back, she went full mask-off mode. She started.
After that, I never heard anything about her anymore. Like I did, oh gosh, my English is really not good today. I'm so sorry about that. I never heard anything about her. Giga Chat VTubers, yeah!
Ranting about Kusa being from Vietnam, saying, "Bro lives in Vietnam. There's no way he's struggling for extra cash in that country with his business." And then came this.
The frick? Okay. Damn. Sexy and risque are very different from loot and corn. Exactly. And I, like you said, I've been shifting my view a little bit, and I don't have problems with being, having like bikinis or a bunny suit or something. I have no problems with that anymore, but still not loot or corn, you know? That's probably the best actual explanation for it. I am not okay with loot or corn from my model. Like loot or corn art from my model, absolutely not. But sexy and risque is fine, normally. It gets worse!
Absolute gem.
How?
You can sell orange juice with
I mean, I know that it gets worse because we're only at 11 minutes, but
coffee shots for $1 and live off that for a week in that fucking country. What?
I think she's never been to Vietnam, right?
It would have been a completely different story if he mailed me the extra plushies, but no, he's so profit-oriented that he decided to sell knockoffs to people in my community who have no idea when their shit will get shipped. At this point, it was obvious. She wasn't actually mad about art theft. She was mad she didn't get the plush for free.
Yeah, exactly.
She even confirmed it herself, whining, "I didn't even get anything for free." But Twitter buried her. Community notes came back with a vengeance, exposing
That's actually one thing I also saw. I didn't get anything for free and she has a throne.
her hypocrisy. She had already received hundreds of gifts through her public wish list, close to 400 gifts from her fans. And in one of her own voice clips, she even bragged about getting a full fucking outfit, as she says.
Chat.
I am so thankful. I mean, I also have a throne, and I'm so thankful for everything I get there because at least, like, I'm actually so thankful for everything, like every bit, every freaking gift, every throne gift, every donation, whatever, because none of that should be taken for granted. Like the freaking hell.
Someone fucking, like, I think
No,
this
she's just straight racist. Yeah, okay.
is a surprise gift, but they gave me a full fucking outfit. It has like a top and bottoms, and it also has like bracelets and shoes, and the shoes fit me. What the fuck?
Realizing she had lost, Gumpai tried one last desperate attempt at regaining sympathy. She posted this: "I'm getting to by the VTuber community, God please help," which obviously also got community noted. She didn't stop there though.
Gosh.
She doubled down once again. I'll always get fucked over by the VTubing community no matter what. I get my design character for profit while not even getting anything for free. Many such cases, which was hit with the
what are the many such cases? I love community. I've been in love with community notes for quite some time now, because like community notes is damn. Most of the time, community notes is so freaking damn savage. I love it. I love it so much.
coldest community note fact checked yet. There is no evidence of by anyone related to Gumpai. She is receiving backlash due to her own comment and entitlement, not because of a crime. And just to really drive that point home, they included Wikipedia links explaining the actual definition of and criticism. She had officially lost. Her merch deal was cancelled, her followers plummeted, and even her own supporters were turning against her. Her YouTube account went into the negative, yet she continued. I'm only being watched by drama chasers because I'm a woman. If I was a guy, I wouldn't get any attention from my actions. People only care about male drama when it's about harassment or assault. You'd think that after all of this, she'd finally stop digging.
It's just everything. Every single tweet feels like every single tweet is so spiteful and just feels like being edgy, being racist, being parasocial, just for, you know, fame, I guess. I don't know why anyone would want that.
But no, she went live on Kick, tripling down on her hate for Kusa. Instead of walking back her claims, she went even harder. She mocked her own plushies while stating that the ones Kusa made for Face Connect looked better.
And the plush doesn't even look as good as the Face Connects one. Like,
oh,
this one
gosh.
is literally just felt.
Oh gosh, male creators get less drama. Only get drama then. When I ask Logan Paul, yeah.
But the other, like the other, fucking plushies other people got are like crocheted and it's like nice. Like I feel like the people hating on me didn't even look at the plushie. Like this plushie is.
It's cute. What the hell?
It's fucked up.
At one point, she even played the victim card, saying, "I feel lonely at the top."
Yeah, that's so freaking insulting.
And then, in a truly delusional display, she declared, "I'm successful now that I have haters." And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, she actually took credit for Kusa's success. Thanks to me, Kusa has clients now. And
But he had clients before that.
top it all off, she ended the stream with, "Everyone is promoting me. 2025 is going to be the year." That comment would not age well. After the backlash, things started to simmer down. Until Gumpai decided to come back one more time with what can only be described as a backhanded apology. "I'm sorry, Kusa, I should have bowed down to your Face Connect goodness doll plushie machine and chilled with the xenophobic comments." Which doesn't exactly scream sincerity. But instead of leaving it at that, she immediately spiraled into a full-blown tirade, Kanye West style.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
She started rapid-firing
no.
a series of manic, nonsensical tweets one after another. Some of the highlights included, "I will never be funny again, I promise, I was never funny.
That also gets so many likes. What the freak?
And I will never attempt to be funny anymore. You're fine, I just had severe psychosis because I got pumped and dumped by an Italian manlet last year. My He-Man regenerates from September, so I had a really bad moment and I can't cope with being a virgin again, so I'm sorry about all my female woman moments.
It feels like a full mental breakdown. It feels like a full mental breakdown.
Please forgive me, boss. Can Trump pardon me from my VTubing reputation?"
Oh my goodness.
That one was actually kind of fun.
How to be a virgin again. You can actually get a hymen reconstruction surgery. You can let that be reconstructed. Interestingly enough. Don't ask me why I know that.
And the best part, she even acknowledged her manic behavior herself. "My VTuber career is..."
But why? there are women who want that. It could technically also be to, I don't know, religious reasons or something. I don't know.
Is microdosing on having Kanye moments a bit too frequently. At least she was self-aware, just not enough to stop digging her own grave.
Yeah.
By now, Gumpai had alienated almost everyone. It seemed like she had hit rock bottom after the plushie meltdown, the racism, and the Twitter spiraling. But no, because what
we're only halfway done, chat. Humans, yeah. That's basically the explanation for that.
really destroyed her wasn't the backlash, it wasn't the leaks, it wasn't even her most unhinged public rants. What sealed her fate was the one thing she had built her entire brand on. She had made her identity about calling out parasocial manipulation. She trashed VTubers for monetizing fan relationships and
But how do you make your own career calling out parasocial manipulation if everything you do is so parasocial? How is that even? It gets worse and the deeper we get. Yeah.
and shamed streamers for hiding their boyfriends. She even mocked one for saying streamers should stop treating fans like cash
that is Froggy. I like Froggy. I do follow her on Twitter. What
cows.
the hell?
Laughing. Skill issue. Just make your viewers fall in love with you and don't have a boyfriend in secret. Her message was clear. If you're honest with your fans, they'll stay loyal. But guess what? She had a secret boyfriend the entire time. So how exactly did Gumpai get caught? Well, her ex-boyfriend Fuza was a viewer turned VTuber that she had dated before her girlfriend experience phase. Once they broke up, she fully committed to the girlfriend experience bit, and she did everything to convince her fans that she was single, sleeping in voice calls with fans to prove that she wasn't dating anyone, spending hours in
Yeah, because that proves so much, right? Right, yeah, because that proves
Discord
so
voice
much.
call to always be available, tweeting nonstop about how she was different from other VTubers who had secret boyfriends, and
Oh, that is such... I'm sorry, I hate that word. I really, really hate that word, pick-me girl behavior. I really hate that because it always gets misused and it always gets used for... But it indeed feels like that. That is one of the very, very, very few reasons why I would use that word. I don't like pick-me girl because it gets like misused a lot. But oh shoot, I'm not like the other girls. What kind of stream have I walked into? I don't know, Jay. I literally, it gets worse every second we watch this video. Like not the video, but what we're watching. It gets worse. What's the correct usage? Yeah, I'm not like other girls. Like, thank you for the follow, by the way. Sleeping in voice calls, it would be so I would be so scared sleeping in voice calls, to be honest. Same people's, some dumb criminals get caught advertising how dumb thing X is, and then doing it, fully expecting not to get caught. Oh yeah, exactly. And we are like halfway done with the video, yeah.
And she did this for months.
Oh my
But
goodness.
then things started to change. She stopped sleep calling, she stopped hanging out in voice calls, and her tweets shifted from what users called pick-me bait to
Well, there you go, Chad.
depression spirals. Her fans noticed something was off, and a male voice heard in one of her videos set all kinds of alarm bells off for them. However, she continued denying claims of a relationship while still taking donations. Her community, now paranoid and obsessed, started arguing over whether or not she was lying, and the drama exploded into other VTuber communities. That's when
Like that's the point. I only know about the plushie drama. That's all I saw. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you.
Genesis Prism stepped in. Genesis Prism had been friends with Gumpai since early 2020.
What is this? What am I seeing? What is with those rats? What the?
23. Long before the GFE arc took off, she had seen the warning signs, Gumpai's history of impulsive decisions, erratic mood swings, and deep dependence on her audience. But she had stayed by her side, believing that supporting a friend meant accepting them as they were. From the beginning, Gumpai
Yeah.
I had confided in Genesis about wanting to quit VTubing or restart under a new identity. She talked about feeling overwhelmed and often expressing frustration over how people perceived her. Genesis, knowing that Gumpai had a mental illness that contributed to mood swings, tried her best to be patient. They spoke daily at times, and despite everything, Genesis genuinely wanted to see Gumpai succeed. As Gumpai's GFE content intensified, Genesis found herself increasingly shut out. While she was a moderator in Gumpai's server, she was locked out of most channels and barred from joining voice chats simply because she was a girl. Gumpai.
That's why I would have drawn the line already. If my supposed friend just... What? What?
Reassured her that this was to keep her away from the GFE heavy parts of the community. And at the time, Genesis took her word for it.
That's freaking crazy. Yes, Taco. If measures like that would have to be taken by someone to be kept away from parts of the community because the community is too whatever. I don't want to be part of that community if I have to be kept out of certain parts of that community because it's too girlfriend experience heavy. I don't want to be part of that. She sounds like a very good friend, yeah. If I was her mod, I wouldn't want to see the girlfriend's channels either. Well,
didn't realize was just how deep the obsession in Gumpai's fanbase had become.
But in general, like, her whole content was that type of thing, so I don't know how you can really keep someone away from that.
Early on, Gumpai had also been very supportive of Genesis, even telling her viewers to check out her streams. But as Genesis' popularity grew, their relationship began to shift. By January, when Gumpai secretly entered a relationship and started withdrawing from her own community, some of her fans became suspicious. Instead of addressing their concern, she started banning anyone who questioned her, growing more paranoid with each passing day.
You could get unbanned for $1,000 though.
As this paranoia took hold, the drama started spilling into Genesis' own server, where many of their shared viewers had migrated. Seeing this, Gumpai began demanding that Genesis ban people who had questioned her relationship status, despite the fact that they hadn't actually broken any of Genesis' rules. As Gumpai continued to isolate herself, she went as far as deleting her own voice chat channels and purging multiple members from her server. Naturally, many of these displaced members sought out a new place to socialize, and Genesis—
Oh no, oh yeah, I see where this is going, oh no, oh no, oh no, and now, and that's when everything starts blowing up probably, oh god. Endless money glitch, yeah!
Discord became the most active alternative. At first, Genesis didn't think much of it. She wasn't offering GFE content, she was just a VTuber who liked streaming and hanging out with her audience, but to Gumpai, this was unacceptable. As more of Gumpai's former viewers spent time in Genesis' server, tensions escalated. The situation reached a breaking point when male viewers started hanging out in Genesis' voice chat. In the eyes of Gumpai's most obsessive fans, this was cheating. Then
yeah, this part, exactly.
In the eyes of Gumpai's most obsessive fans,
to accuse them of cheating on you and how that's psychotic behavior.
This was cheating. Then came the moment that changed everything. Gumpai pulled Genesis into a private group chat alongside her secret boyfriend Vatrans, where she made a demand. She wanted Genesis to ban certain viewers who had left her community and moved to Genesis' server, labeling them as schizos and insisting that they were a danger to her. One of them—
Oh, that's so manipulative. That is just so manipulative. I would also rather chill with a chill VTuber than other ones.
An AFK paid mod who basically scammed her. And another
private group.
Yeah, that guy posts enough Nazi stuff to get your Discord banned. Her brilliant solution? Just ban him. Which, shouldn't she also be concerned about her own server then? Then came Eki, someone Gumpai claimed had made her feel unsafe about attending Offkai. He's the reason I'm not going to Offkai. He basically threatened my security. Now, legitimate safety concerns should always be taken seriously. But
absolutely, 100%, yes.
At this point—
Hi, Octan Viva. Everyone who watches Buna cheats on Runya, which is even worse since no, Buna pays for my stuff. She's not my sister.
This was a pattern. There was always a new problem. There was always a new enemy. There was always some fresh drama conveniently keeping the attention on her. Genesis felt blindsided. These weren't troublemakers. They were just regular viewers who had been watching her for a while. They hadn't caused problems, yet Gumpai wanted them erased from the space entirely.
Yeah, that's very no. It just seems also so friend cell? What? It seems so manipulative just.
When Genesis refused, Gumpai's behavior only became more erratic. At first, Genesis Brisk felt guilty about how things were unfolding. She confronts Gumpai, trying to clarify that she never intended to leech off Gumpai or steal her audience. She even says, "That does feel kind of bad, and that's never been my intention. I never told anyone to come watch me or join my server. All I ever did was try to lift you up." But here's the twist. Gumpai never actually believed Genesis was leeching off of her. Instead, she weaponized their friendship, guilt-tripping her fans into—
Yeah, it's such guilt-tripping behavior, such manipulative and guilt-tripping behavior that's displayed in that group chat. Oh, that was another name of her. Okay.
believing that Genesis was the reason for her declining numbers. It was just a convenient excuse for her to manipulate her community. Wow. What a nice thing to do to a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Jen even points it out, saying, "Guess I don't appreciate being used as the tool for that because it just fuels the hate towards me when I really didn't do anything but try and support." When Genesis started to have to deal with Gumpai's unhinged fan base as a result of Gumpai's action, on a few occasions, Genesis would bring this up to her. "Honestly, you would do so much better as a normal streamer who doesn't have to deal with schizos."
Yeah, if it's like that's also the thing I would be asking if I was her friend. If all of her supposed viewers that just migrated over to her Jen's stream are so bad and so mentally unstable, why do you still do this? Why do you still surround yourself with them? More demons put to rest than those DMs than in my today's Doom session. Oh yeah. But can we talk about, yeah, she's really, really reasonable. Like, holy shit. I think I couldn't put it like this. I would have no words. Absolutely
Because
not.
let's be real, Gumpai basically had a full-blown parasocial cult.
Yeah.
Only her most zealous fans had remained after she had purged everybody else that would question her. Genesis acknowledged that Gumpai was making a lot of money from this, but yes, the money must be super nice and there are some cool people, but holy shit, do you have some psychotic members?
Yeah.
And Gumpai? Time to
Exactly.
Fansly max. At another point,
But is it worth it though? Is it worth it? No. 100% no. No. The answer is no. If you answered yes, you effed up.
outright tells her, "This GFE shit just isn't cut out for you. You attract schizos, and like massive schizos. And Gumpai, they're just lonely men, Jen. By now..."
Yeah, sure. Very dangerous, lonely man. The frig. There's very dangerous people out there. And even without doing the whole girlfriend experience, you can attract very dangerous people. Very weird, dangerous people. Yes, you can. That happens. Yes, it does happen. This friend of mine is entirely unhinged. Surely nothing can go wrong. Yeah, surely nothing.
Genesis was mentally checked out. She was tired of the drama, the paranoia, and the never-ending cycle of chaos.
Absolutely
She felt like it was
understandable.
only a matter of time before a massive crash out would happen. So she made a decision. She left Gumpai's server for good. And to stop
Absolute probably best decision she could have made. But also maybe don't prey on those lonely men in already dangerous situations. Maybe don't fuel maybe don't fuel it as well. Yeah, that's absolutely, just mentioning this, obviously. It's not an excuse for their behavior. Full stop. It's not an excuse for the behavior of the people. It's also not very smart to fuel the already unstable parasocial behavior. Maybe let's put it like that.
stop the drama from bleeding into her own community, she decided to implement a hard rule in her own server. I don't want any talk about Gumpai. I don't care if it's positive or negative. No talk at all. No shit talking, no praising, nothing. If I found out, it's an immediate ban. People have been trying to stir drama and I'm quite honestly sick of it. If you're here to do that, you can leave yourself, and if I found out, you will be banned. But Genesis had one last piece of advice before she left. One final attempt to get Gumpai to see the reality of her situation. For your own mental sanity, it's probably better to rethink what you would want to do with content creation, because you can't avoid people watching other streamers, and those that don't will go schizo and send you screenshots of people in voice chat talking about a fucking game. And for a brief moment.
Exactly. What? It's so... That's so freaking on point. Holy shoot.
Gumpai seems almost self-aware enough to acknowledge it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dump all of this onto you and make you handle my drama. However, what happened next proved she had absolutely no remorse. The moment Genesis started gaining traction, pulling in more viewers and receiving donations, Gumpai lost it. She spiraled into an unhinged rant in her own Discord, launching a full-scale attack on the very person who had been in her corner from the start. She twisted their friendship into a betrayal story, claiming Genesis had love-bombed her despite their long history as close friends, and then came
no.
the real
She's just F around and find out, and she effed up bad, yeah.
The jealousy-fueled meltdown over Genesis receiving donations. In Gumpai's mind, a VTuber who was open about having a boyfriend didn't deserve support. She ranted about people gifting things to a, quote, bitch with a boyfriend, and took it a step further, mocking Genesis for not fully capitalizing on parasocial monetization. She outright suggested that if Genesis really cared about making money, she should break up with her boyfriend.
You're not that's also a thing. Don't stream to make money. The freak. That never works out. Never. And it will end in something like this.
Because there's, quote, nothing wrong with being jerk-off material.
I mean, if you don't have a problem with that, that's fine. I do.
Irony was almost poetic. Gumpai had a secret boyfriend the entire time, yet she was furious that someone else who had been transparent about their relationship from the start was still thriving. It wasn't about morality or fairness, it was pure jealousy.
Absolutely.
For months, Genesis had quietly endured harassment from Gumpai's obsessive fanbase, choosing not to escalate things out of respect for their friendship, but waking up to multiple screenshots of Gumpai publicly smearing her and fueling even more harassment behind her back made one thing clear. There was no coming back from this.
Yeah.
So she had two choices. Either.
By the way, one thing I really like about Rima is the way she pronounces thing. I really like it. Just wanted to lighten the mood a little teeny tiny bit with that.
Stay silent and continue being a scapegoat for as long as Gumpai needed someone to blame, or expose the truth, leak the DMs confirming that Gumpai had a boyfriend the entire time, finally putting an end to the hypocrisy-driven harassment. In the end, the choice was obvious. The harassment wasn't going to stop unless the illusion Gumpai had crafted was shattered. Instead of a public leak, Genesis shared proof with two questioning viewers. When they confronted Gumpai, she panicked. Within hours, her Discord server was gone. Her Twitter
she wiped everything, didn't she?
Account was deactivated.
Damn.
Everything she had built, every carefully controlled lie came crashing down in an instant.
Damn.
And if getting exposed by her own friend wasn't bad enough, things somehow got even worse. A group of ex-friends or ex-fans and disgruntled community members decided to take things a step further. They built an entire website dedicated.
Okay, if someone builds a website on you and on what you did, that you effed up bad time.
To exposing her.
Big
this
time.
was an entire museum of receipts.
120 folders.
With screenshots of her DMs, clips of her racist remarks, soundboards of her unhinged moments, audio recording of her love-bombing fans, evidence of her manipulating fans for money, you name it. Now here's the wildest
my effing god, 1.8k files, yeah.
part. Some of the archives, her old content, her selfies, and even personal posts were originally collected by Gumpai herself. She had been hoarding her own history for years through her Zuba account. That's why she's even listed as one of the contributors to the website. But the leaks, the recent DMs, the private conversations...
Well, she dug her own grave, didn't she now? Really sad. Yeah, that's dedication indeed.
Etc., those were new, and they were added on top of the archives. Her past and present had officially collided. At this point, there was no coming back. If there
It doesn't appear so. I also don't know if the imagery in her character is portrayed and is also kind of very complicated topic, one could say. You know, you really messed up when people dedicate that much time and effort. The consequences of my own actions.
If there was any doubt left about Gumpai's secret relationship, the leaked screenshots shut it down completely. Buried in the messages was undeniable proof that she had been seeing someone behind the scenes. The exact thing she had constantly mocked other content creators for.
Yeah.
Here, Gumpai introduces her boyfriend, VTuber, to her friend Jen. Additionally, leaked receipts confirmed that while Gumpai was still taking donations from fans who saw her as their virtual girlfriend, she was secretly using that money to buy her boyfriend expensive gifts, including a high-end 3DIO ASMR mic and audio interface.
I mean, I do like my 3DO as well, but damn.
Worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. Her fans were not only paying for her content, but also funding her entire relationship. In another instance, Genesis checks in on Gumpai, asking how she's doing, and Gumpai responds, "Yes, I love him. He wants to manager LARP me. We made so many spreadsheets," which...
Manager, that hits... That, yeah, it does land there.
Really makes this old tweet from her hit differently in hindsight. From a ruthless businesswoman perspective, it's pointless to network with other female VTubers who have their boyfriends as their managers because they don't know jack shit and there's practically zero useful conversations to be held. Not only that, but the leaks show just how aware
it's just business.
Gumpai was of the consequences if her audience ever found out about her secret boyfriend. In one conversation, she openly admitted, "Not gonna tell my community I'm at TwitchCon, they will kill me for having a boyfriend." To this, Genesis, who had never marketed herself as a GFE streamer, responds, "Yeah, that's fine. I never really said anything about my relationship status, but then again, I'm not a GFE streamer anyways."
Yeah, and that's totally fine. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your relationship status. Absolutely not. What exactly is LARP? Because I know something like I for example say for my friends, because I don't really use the word love that much. Like I don't really say I love you. I also say I love you. Yes, I do say that, but sometimes I say I lobe you, just like LOBE. I lobe you. You are amazing. Which is like also love, but not quite love. Because in German, the Ich liebe dich, like the I love you, is more reserved for very intimate, like, relationships, like family. For me, at least for me, that's for me. Family, very close friends and stuff. Live action roleplay, oh, I see.
And then Gumpai, in what can only be described as a complete lack of self-awareness, says, "Me neither." She doubled down, trying to justify her situation by claiming, "I got groomed by Vatrans." She then adds, "He seduced me too hard. He kept writing me love letters. I swear I'm not schizo." So let's get this straight. The woman who built her entire identity on not being like the other GFE girls who have secret boyfriends and who mocked other creators saying, "Just make your viewers fall in love with you and don't have a boyfriend in secret," was doing exactly just that. Oh, the irony. As the news spread,
you can't even put the irony into words there. I like how she says schizzos. It's crazy. I would love to see those love letters. Same. Then maybe I know how to risk.
Fans were split between shock, anger, and bitter realization. One of her longtime supporters went to Twitter to vent his frustration. I supported you even when everyone but your community hated you. Yet it seems like you don't give a shit about anyone. I'm not one to take the whole GFE thing that seriously. I genuinely enjoyed my time with you, and I do wish you the best going forward.
Wow.
Someone quickly responds, sorry to tell you this, but it was obvious she was just using her fans for monetary gain
Absolutely
and didn't care about
obvious.
her fans. And the fan clearly heard the
For me, like I think for everyone here, it was like 5,000% obvious, because I mean, she literally told everyone, milk your, like it feels like she said, milk your community till they're dry, which is disgusting. Does the E and GFE mean, by the way, girlfriend experience?
defended himself. What proof do you have to call this obvious? The reason I got into her to begin with was because she felt closer to me than my IRL girlfriend at the time. She definitely acted like she cared from when I first joined until she stopped doing the sleep calls. For many of Gumpai's diehard fans,
That was probably a very mentally vulnerable position that dude was in, and she used that, yeah. Probably in a lot. That's... Oh gosh.
and this was a brutal wake-up call. But for others, this was exactly what they expected. As the situation went viral again, plenty of old viewers came forward to say that they had seen it coming for months. Some recalled how they had warned her about the dangers of leaning too hard into GFE content. Others brought up her hypocrisy, pointing out how she ruled her server with an iron fist while mocking other streamers for doing exactly what she had been doing. And of course, many pointed back to her infamous boyfriend tweet, where she smugly claimed, just make your viewers fall in love with you and don't have a boyfriend in secret. Now, she was living proof of why that advice was terrible. And just when you thought it couldn't get more ridiculous, there was this. After everything had gone down, Gumpai repurposed a form to be a boyfriend application. Yes, really. With questions such as, are you a virgin? What are the dimensions of your genitals? And how often do you gump? Like, what the...
I don't even want to know stuff like that. Can we not? Like I said at the beginning of the video, I understand that there are certain kinks. I understand that there are certain turn-ons and for people. I understand that. That's okay. I may not understand the girlfriend experience, and I may think it's very exploitative. Very, very exploitative. In general. But they're consenting adults. Full stop. However, that person, what they did is, no. Just no. That's not just, I'm milking the girlfriend experience. That's way more than that.
Actual hell. Moving on. At the time
of writing this video, life is a box full of chocolates. I may understand, but I'm still just judging. Yes, Jay. As I said, obviously, there are people who like that. I can understand that, but I still, like I said, I don't know, 5 minutes into the video, it might be legal, but it's morally not that good.
Video.
We listen and we will judge.
Is back on social media, this time under the hashtag reformed. But has anything actually changed?
That's a good question. Yeah, exactly. It may be seen as a kink, otherwise purely predatory on vulnerable people. Exactly that. That's, I mean, like I said, I did listen to an audiobook today about cannibalism. And they actually... Mark Benecke, who that book is from, he delved into, like, delved? I think delved is the actual word. He delved into the topic of SM cannibalistic fantasies, which was something. It indeed is a kink, or no, wait, it's a fetish, not a kink. Right? There's a differentiation between it. It's a fetish. Between two consenting adults. I may not understand it, and I don't quite know how I feel about that. Actually, I do know how I feel about that, but it's a fetish, and if it's between two consenting adults, I don't know how much I can really judge it. If it's not between two consenting adults, that's something entirely different. We all know that, I think. It's problematic. A wise man once said, the law is not necessarily moral. Morality informs the law. That is a very good saying, actually. I don't know who that is from. Not really vor. It's not vor. They play out their fantasies. And they're like people who have fantasies of, being consumed or something. And they play that out with props. With fake blood and stuff. That is apparently something that happens with very strict rules put into place. Very, very strict rules put into place. Normally also contracts like written contracts with a script that is written down, so nothing changes about that script. But it is something that happens. It's two consenting adults. But this seems less like two consenting adults that know what they're in for. Because I think the difference between those situations is both parties in that situation know what they're doing. They're sitting down, laying their boundaries, laying their rules. In that situation, one person has all of the power and the other person has none and doesn't really know what they have. There is a lot of uncertainty, and it just is predatory, like already mentioned. Most forms of content are just to exploit the vulnerable. It's sad, yeah. Yeah, there are also there are also the vampire dudes, yeah.
Not really. She's been active on her alt account called Diet Coke, where she's fully leaned into her not safe for work content hustle. And if there was any doubt that it's actually her, she linked the account to her own throne wishlist, confirming that once again with her.
That is very unsmart. These type of people give kings at large a bad name. Yeah.
It's business as usual. Thank you so much for watching. Huge shout out to my Discord community for submitting this story. You guys are the real MVPs. If you want to contribute to future videos or just hang out and talk about VTubers, join the server at discord.gg/Rima. And if you
I really like her videos. I like her videos like a lot. I think they're very well researched and she is very respectful when reporting on them. I really like them. So please check Rima out. Thank you so much for the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Leave a like, comment, subscribe on this video. And write. I have absolutely no idea what you can write in the comments right now. I am just a bit overwhelmed still. Thank you so much for watching and bye-bye. Outro song. This is an outro song. Outro song. This is an outro song.